Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the December reading for Aquarius, all right? So Aquarius, you're up next. And we're going to look right into the December love relationship outlook, right? This could be for anyone really who is just... It could be for a single Aquarius. It could be for an Aquarius who's with a love connection or trying to call in a particular love connection. Whatever the case may be, a lot of the readings for December have really had a lot to do with finances and career, even though they've been love readings. And I think a lot of that is because that area of our lives, those two areas of our lives basically, are really converging this December for a lot of people. So let's just see what your outlook is today. And of course, Aquarius, we know this can't be for all of you. So please just take what applies to you and ignore the rest. If you'd like to get a private reading, if you like my style of reading, you can get a private reading, which will be the same as this. It will be an online stream, but it will be a private stream just for you and I to talk and to do the reading. All right, guys, so let's get right into it. Now, I'm going to pull out a Celtic spread for you, and then afterwards we will go ahead and clarify with the soft deck. Straight out the gate, you have the Lovers in the center. All right. Covered by the Four of Cups, which has been coming out a lot. You're covered on your conscious position with Three of Cups. Unconscious position, we have the Moon. We have Four of Swords also coming out a lot with the Knight of Wands. You come into this month with an Emperor energy and you're faced with a Page of Wands. Hopes and dreams end your fears are a Chariot, and the Tower is how you end out. Wow. All right, Aquarius. Looks like it's going to be another heavy reading. We have Empress energy at the bottom of the deck. Let's get right into the Empress energy first off and foremost. Queen of Cups. Empress energy. So we are talking about luxuriating in your own garden, the garden of your own making. The Empress's garden is everything that she is on the inside represented in her environment. The beauty within can now be reflected in her, in the area and the environment and her life around her, okay? This talks a lot about creativity, being really nurturing to yourself, taking care of yourself, you know? The Empress is, of course, associated with love and beauty and Venus, of course, right? Also in that way associated with Taurus energy. But more than anything, the Empress really talks about a time in your life where you are doing you, right? Where you are taking care of you. You're taking care of your mind, your body, and your soul, and making sure that you remain fertile in that way so that you can continue to be the great goddess of creativity that the Empress is. Now, let us get right into your reading. All right, guys, we have 5 major arcana. Straight out in the center, we have the Lovers covered by Four of Cups. Let's get right into it. Aquarius Lovers energy, of course, is associated with Gemini. Sometimes people leave me comments. They're like, well, what's that sign got to do with it? Obviously, I am reading for Aquarius, but a lot of the tarot cards are associated with zodiac signs. And in this case, the Lovers is associated with the Gemini. Let me tell you, Lovers is actually associated with a journey towards harmony. The 6 is the number for harmony, or at least a journey towards harmony, which is slightly different than just harmony in and of itself. But with Lovers, we talk about two halves coming together. We talk about contradictions coming together. And we talk about really the work that is involved, right? The one thing about a true soulmate twin flame connection is that it's not perfect. Right? And oftentimes our partner will mirror within them qualities that we need to work on within ourselves. It's this mutual understanding that you both have something to learn from each other that is the nature of the Lovers card, right? It's not just that you two have a soulmate connection and it's all great and wonderful. That will be more of a Four of Wands energy or Six of Cups energy. Here we're really talking about the essence of two lovers coming together and what it entails, the work that is involved and the understanding that is involved for this relationship, this connection to move towards harmony. Now, this understanding is really at the heart of your month for December, covered with a Four of Cups. So some of you are really being unwilling to accept a cup of love from someone. Okay, there's this energy coming through, Aquarius, of you kind of being a little bit fed up with a particular connection, unwilling to help, unwilling to open up the dialogue. It could very well be that you're just very pissed off about a particular connection, or somebody in this love connection has done something to you in such a way that you're really being extremely standoffish. You just are not sure if you're willing to do all of the work that is involved with the lovers, because in some ways someone has really upset you. And you know what I mean? Four of Cups is stability. And in a lot of ways, stability in relationships. In a lot of ways, with Four of Cups, we're talking about wanting to maintain stability that you've already achieved and not really wanting that stability to be upset by an empty cup. I think for some of you, you feel that this love connection, someone is in this love connection, they're simply not putting the right effort in, right? For you, it's like, listen, these three cups are empty. I've been there. I've done that. What you're offering me looks just like what I've been through before, and I'm not sure I want it. This is a real decision in terms of not putting up with the same type of dysfunction that you've put up with before in relationships, right? Oftentimes, Four of Cups can be interpreted as someone who is unwilling to accept help, or who's cutting off their nose to despite their face because they're unwilling to engage or to converse. But a lot of times it can also be that you simply just don't want an empty cup of love handed to you without somebody showing you what that all entails. What does this relationship entail? You hand me a cup, but what comes with that? You know, am I going to expect love and respect and at least communication, or am I going to get the same sort of empty cup that I've had before? And this is really the main issue. This Lovers and Four of Cups, I'm going to say for some of you, Aquarius, you are very much this December deciding if a particular love connection is the right one for you. The love is there, the attraction is there, but the functionality of the relationship is off. And it's upsetting to you to a certain degree, and you're really putting your foot down in a lot of ways, because of course Empress energy is at the bottom of the deck, and she doesn't really, she's only beholden to the Emperor. And in this way, it's like, if you know, only a king can take care of a queen. Only a queen can take care of a king. And it doesn't really matter sometimes how much you love somebody. If they don't have what it takes to handle you and to be on your level, then oftentimes the relationship isn't going to work. And, you know, it's true. What does love have to do with it? You know, that song, you know, what's love got to do with it if you're dealing with a person who is unwilling to meet you halfway, or if you're dealing with a person who has dysfunction in the way that they relate to you, or in the way that they act in a relationship, so that it becomes unfunctional, right? Now, in the conscious and unconscious positions, we have Three of Cups and Moon energy. Now, Three of Cups and Moon energy is quite interesting. Three of Cups, of course, is a feeling of celebration, right? You're with your tribe. You're with your friends, you're with your community, and for the most part in December, you're going to be feeling very happy amongst your friends. And I'm going to say to you that it could very well be that part of this relationship that's really not working out for you is that they don't make you very, although you love them, there's a feeling of them just not making you very happy. There's a feeling, you know, a lot of us are resonating so much higher in this December period with self-confidence and self-nurturing, especially with the strong Empress energy. And you're finding a lot of solace and comfort in your friend group, in your social group, right? And I think for some of you, Aquarius, you're realizing, hang on a second, do I really want to be tied into this love connection? I'm really having a good time. Yet every time I'm with this person, I'm feeling like I don't want to engage. In the back of your mind, you have the Moon, and that's your unconscious position. And again, this is again what I'm talking about. There's a feeling of being unsure of yourself and how you feel of the relationship. Moon energy talks about You're feeling like something is wrong here. Something is going on here. There's something that you don't really know that's happening. Sometimes the moon talks about that. It talks about information that is sort of hidden. But let me get into the moon for a second so you can understand what that really truly means. The moon is really a period of testing. Remember, the moon is the 18. The first 8 in the major arcana is strength. The card for strength. And in that card, and with 8s, we talk about borders, we talk about boundaries, we talk about understanding our strengths, what we can handle and what we can't handle. And all of this is knowing yourself, right? Knowing when to give in, right? When to let go of pride and ego and to give in, right? Now, with the 8 and with the strength card, we understand our feelings. With the 18 and the moon card, we are tested. Now we are tested. The moon talks about going through a period of time or stage in your life where the path is unsure. The path is dark. It's unsure. The only light that you're getting is from the moon, and the moon doesn't bring the same clarity that the sun does, which would be, of course, the 19 in the next card. This is why oftentimes the moon card is interpreted as hidden information. But it's not even so much that the information is hidden. It's there, but you must walk down the dark path to find it, to see it. And oftentimes we don't want to do that. It's just like walking down an alley, right? It's scary to walk down a dark alley because we don't know what's hidden down there. What is it that's going to face me down there? This is the same type of thing with the moon. It's the testing phase after you've gone through the strength card, right? After you've gone through that stage, you know who you are, you know what you can handle. Now it's time to actually go out into the world, as it were, and test that strength, right? Can you handle it? Can you walk the dark path, right? And even though you may be unsure, even though you may be frightened of the feelings that come out of the things that you learn once you go down that path, oftentimes when we take the path, we realize there was nothing to fear in the first place, right? And it's in this way that the moon can be a testing period, and it can also be a period of feeling like you really don't know what's going to happen next. You feel like you have an idea, you feel like you have a handle, but you're really not sure. And I think in a lot of ways this talks about this feeling that you're having this December, Aquarius, where the love is there. The connection is there, but there's something that's bothering you about it. There's a feeling that if you go down this road, there will be unhappiness, or there will be emotions and I want to say communication, perhaps emotions and communications that won't always be so pleasant. Right? That won't always necessarily make you happy. It's just not sure. It's not the same surety that we have when the sun comes out. And a lot of this is really like in the back of your mind this month. And certainly with this Emperor's energy, you're feeling very much like you want to be sure. You're not willing to sort of throw caution to the wind and just see what happens because of this connection. And I think for some of you, this connection is strong enough in the sense that you also are afraid that if you go too deeply into it, knowing that there is some dysfunction there, that you're going to be hurt later on. Four of Swords is the energy you come into, and Knight of Wands is the energy you come out of the month. And Four of Swords has been everywhere for the December readings, and this is why, because a lot of people, all of us, the events that are coming up and the way the energies are happening in December, a lot of us are trying to maintain our stability that we've already worked for. But we want to be careful, and we want to make the next move intentionally and being prepared strategically, right? Four of Swords talks about being very grateful to live to fight another day, and therefore taking the time to make the right move, to make the next strategic move. It's a Swords card. It's a communication and mental card. So here we're talking about taking a rest, pulling back, and really deciding. And I'm going to say for some of you, Aquarius, it could very well be that towards the end of November and coming into December, you've been really pulled back from this relationship in a way where you have felt you're feeling this moon energy because you know things aren't quite where you think they should be. You're unsure. I think a lot of you are very apprehensive about going deeper into this connection, right? And so you're really trying to make the right step. You may not be with this connection or this lover right now, or you may have decided to spend some time apart and to really get your thoughts together about what to do next. I'm going to say Four of Swords is a very healthy energy. Okay, there's nothing wrong with doing that, especially when you feel unsure about a relationship. If your lover cares for you and wants this to be a functioning, healthy relationship, they'll allow you the time to get your head together. But of course, you only come into December with this energy because you ride out of December with a Knight of Wands. I'm going to say throughout the month of December, a lot is going to happen that's going to tell you exactly what you want to do. It's going to inform where you want to go next, because you ride out the month with the Knight of Wands in the sense that the Knight of Wands is highly enthusiastic, highly ambitious, very, very motivated. Somewhere along the line this month, I'm going to say, you're going to get the answers that you want. We're going to do some clarifying cards, but this is a very nice, strong, positive aspect. Just because you come into the month with unsurety and wanting to maintain stability, you do have 2 4s and the Emperor, major arcana 4. This is all about maintaining your power base, maintaining your stability in the love connection, and maintaining your sense of self. This is very positive for that. And certainly, whatever events happen in December, you leave the month on top. Now, whether or not you decide to stay with this connection, or you decide to leave this connection and indeed stick with your 4 of Cups sort of decision that you won't take this cup of love, whatever the case may be, by the end of December, there's no looking back for you. You simply don't look back. The decision that you make, the way you want to move forward, is cemented. Okay? There's no doubt anymore, because with moon energy in the back of your head, that fire of the Knight of Wands will absolutely, I'm going to say for some of you, it could very well be that you go down this path with your lover. You say, okay, I'm not sure. You know, this could turn out really hurtful, or this could turn out really sort of not positive, but I'm going to try anyway, right? And then you find out, of course, you go through that period and you find out everything that you needed to know to inform your decision at the end of December. Right. The worst thing that we can do with moon energy when it comes up is to shy away from it completely and not to engage. At some point, we have to walk that path. And it's like I said, it's one of those things that once you go down the path, right, you realize that there really was nothing for you to fear. And in fact, what happens is you just find out more about yourself, and you find out exactly how strong you are because you've answered the call of the test. If you're not tested, you will never know how strong you are. And moon energy is a testing period. And of course, you come out of it with Knight of Wands because you find your strength. You find your strength through this very tricky, difficult period. An example could be going to the family's home of your lover, or going to engagements that are normally would be sort of apprehensive or cause anxiety. That's a real life example of what I'm talking about. And then doing that and finding out that everything is all right. Finding out that you had nothing to fear. Finding out that perhaps this was just a case of you not knowing what's going to happen, but there was nothing bad that was going to happen because you went down the path. Do you see what I'm saying? And in this way, I want to say for a lot of you Aquarius, you answer this test and you come out of it with flying colors. You enter this month with an Emperor energy, and that's the energy and the attitude that you're bringing to your love life this month, and you come out of it with a Page of Wands. Again, it's setting the tone, being the authority figure. I mean, we have Empress and Emperor here, so we're talking very strong sort of major arcana soulmate connection here, right? But with that 4, with that Emperor energy, which is associated, by the way, with Aries, Aquarius, you come into the month wanting to very much be in control, right? You want to be in control of your love life. You want to be you want to have some authority in your relationship. You don't want to be at the mercy of your feelings, You don't want to be at the mercy of what somebody else could possibly do for you or do to you, right? And so with the Emperor energy, I think you take a real intentional step to establishing stability in this relationship, getting through this testing period that is very unsure. You come out again with Wands. Again, just like with this Knight of Wands, you come out with Page of Wands, which is again an overcoming of fear. Page of Wands talks about overcoming fear so that you can take the first step to going towards your ambition, right? Pages are always the first step on that rung, on that court card rung, right? We have pages, it's overcoming fear. Then we get into the Knight, which is the forward motion, right? The Queen, which is the feeling, and then of course the King, which is the fire. But here we have Page of Wands, and again, because of your sort of, because you are being very intentional, because you are making, you're facing your fears, you're making decisions from a healthy point of view, certainly with this Empress energy as well, in the sense that you're making decisions that are good for you and that are healthy for you. Once again, you find that you are met with events that help you to overcome fears. I could say for some of you Aquarius, all of this is simply you being a little bit of afraid of this connection because it may be such a strong connection, okay? And it could very well be that this person never did anything to necessarily upset you, but you may indeed be holding on to past trauma and past experiences which are right now kind of coloring this current connection because now with these wands, right, now that we're into this part of the reading, it's almost as if everything that you thought was going to go wrong doesn't go wrong, and you come out of December feeling like, oh wow, why was I so afraid? Why was I so apprehensive? This truly is a love connection. And for some of you, it may indeed be that you turn this Four of Cups around in the sense that you're not being as obstinate, you're not being as closed off, and you're allowing this person now to come in a bit more because you've overcome your fear. And you've been very intentional and very much in control of the decisions you've made, the communication. Remember, Four of Swords also talks about being very careful with what you say. You know, you don't want to say things to ruin a relationship simply because you're unsure about it, right? Because then later on you'll find out, well, hang on a second, maybe all of this unsurety that I had, all of this offstandishness that I had was really me dealing with my own demons, right? And here is a great love connection. So you don't want to ruin a love connection because you're unwilling to face up to your own problems, right? And so this Four of Swords is a very healthy energy in this way because it will stop you from saying things and doing things that could ruin something. Trust me, I know that. I'm a Sagittarius. My mouth has gotten me into trouble more than once in my life with a relationship or a connection, and I regretted what I said, you know, because, hey, that's what we do. We're humans, right? But it's a learning curve. And in any case, I'm going to say for some of you, this December comes out very, very nicely. You meet the test. You pass the test. Your love connection passes the test. The Four of Cups energy that is there is temporary, in the sense that now that you come out with this Knight of Wands and you overcome your fear in this relationship, could very well be overcoming your fear of commitment, you know, overcoming your fear of taking the next step. Whatever the case may be, you overcome it. And your hopes and dreams for the month and your fears are the Chariot. And of course, again, this is laying the path for your ambitious, for your future, for your... for the achievement of your ambitious goals. And I think one of the reasons why you were so unsure here and why you were perhaps so much in a way of like, what do I do? Because you are, Aquarius, on a very big life journey path right now. And this relationship, this strong love connection here is something that you wanted to take with you. You want these two to be together. Right? You want your life path to be with your life lover. Right? And I think a lot of the apprehension that you had here and a lot of the fear, a lot of the pulling back and the really thinking about what it is you want to do next is because of that. It's because you know, you're thinking to yourself, you know, gosh, I have this wonderful connection with someone, we really feel like soulmates, but is it going to work out? You know, should I let them in? I've achieved so much. I've established so much, you know, stability in my life, and I'm on such a big journey right now. I'm about to start a huge journey, a huge new stage in my life where I'm going to be working towards my real dreams for myself. I would love for this person to come with me, but I don't want them to hurt me. I don't want this to go wrong, because this is also tied in with a big ambition that I have. And not only, if this goes wrong, will it not only affect me in terms of my emotions and my connection with this person, but it could affect my success on this path. Okay, and I think a lot of reasons, this is a lot of reasons why you have been so much trying to wait, trying to be sure. Are you sure? Are you sure? You come out the month with a Tower. Interestingly enough, you come out the month with a Tower moment. And I think this Tower moment is going to be very, very strong. And this, obviously, Tower moments are very strong. But I think that this is an awakening that you're going to have about something with this love connection. Right? It could very well be, for some of you, that although you come out of this month being very strong, overcoming your fears, and being very enthusiastic, surprise, surprise, you still don't want this connection. I think for some of you, this Tower moment can be very much that. Let me put it to you this way. It's as if you go through everything, you go through this testing phase, right? You go through this period where you're really being intentional about trying to figure out this connection. You're holding them off, you're being careful and strategic, and you're going through certain events with this moon, social events, by the way, as well, right? With friends and family this December, that although it leaves you with enthusiasm and ambition to move forward and overcoming your fear, what you realize in this Tower moment is that overcoming this fear and wanting to move forward actually has nothing to do with this love connection. And that indeed, what you wake up to is realizing that this isn't right, but you're not hurt about it necessarily. It's not that you're so disappointed or so hurt, because you're moving forward with such strong positivity and enthusiasm with yourself and overcoming so much fear. I think that for a lot of you, the Tower moment is going to be realizing that you didn't need this connection, or that you no longer want this connection, despite the fact that you've come out of the month extremely happy. It doesn't necessarily mean that simply because you come out with this strong fire to move forward, that it automatically means you have this strong fire to move forward with this connection. I feel very much this fire here is you moving forward, having learned something about yourself. And this is the Tower moment that may indeed come. Realizing that indeed everything that you needed to learn from this encounter was for your betterment, but not necessarily for the betterment of the relationship, if you know what I mean. It's waking up and finding out that ultimately this entire testing period was really a period to just get yourself prepared, get yourself into that Empress energy, into the Chariot, because Chariot is very strong. It's laying the path. It hasn't gone yet. The Chariot is not in motion. Oftentimes people misinterpret the Chariot as being in motion. In fact, the Chariot isn't in motion. The Chariot is stood still. This is a period when we are laying the path. We are preparing the way. Because once the Chariot engages, it won't stop until it reaches its destination, and it won't be veered off of its path. So a lot of times we're talking about preparation, but I do feel very strongly this is a very singular, independent learning period. And I think you find out a lot about yourself during this December period. And I think for some of you, this connection that you have right now with someone, this love connection that you have right now with someone is teaching you a lot about yourself. And it's almost as if once you're done, the relationship serves no more purpose for you, if you know what I mean. You know, so let's go ahead and pull some clarifiers. I say that because of the Tower moment coming in so strongly and the Chariot coming in so strongly. Knight of Wands and Page of Wands are very independent as well. They're very independent, forward-moving energies. And so again, I feel like this is very much a month for you to sort of perfect yourself, perfect how you engage or how you behave or what expectations you have in relationships, right? And you come out of this month stronger and more willing to engage with the right lover. But I think the Tower moment is that, you ever have one of those moments where you just wake up one day and you realize, you know what, I'm actually not in love with this person. You know what I mean? You think you were in love with this person and it was all angsty and nervous and it was a whole lot of anxiety and trepidation. There may have been some up and down times, and all of that drama made you feel like, oh, you know, this is such a passionate relationship. But then what you realize, you learn some things about yourself, and then you wake up and you realize, you know what, I'm actually not for this. You know, what I thought I loved isn't there. What I thought, what I felt isn't there. And in fact, I'm ready to move on. And I'm now ready to move on stronger and better than I was when I was ever thinking about staying in this connection. It can happen, you know, Aquarius, it can very much happen. And certainly with those of you who are engaging in a lot of social activities this month with your friends, your families, I think also you're realizing a lot of things about this connection that indeed it's just not right for you. But that overcoming the fear, overcoming that fear of wanting to move on but not being able to, these are one of the lessons that you may indeed be learning. This is all about you becoming a better Aquarius, a better you. With that Empress energy, this is very much about you sort of refining yourself. And if this connection is the vehicle for that, then great. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the connection itself is going to survive. There's your Four of Wands. There's your Queen of Wands. More wands. There's your Universe and your Five of Swords. At the back of the deck, we have Two of Cups. Okay, so there you go. Indeed, you want a love connection with someone, but something that is balanced. You're wanting a love connection that is balanced and that is equally flowing. With Two of Cups, we talk about a connection with someone where both both of you are as in love with each other and as willing to pour as much love into each other as you can. And this is your ultimate desire. But if this is not in this connection, then I think one of the lessons you'll find out here is that this is really what you're seeking. And so without that, there is nothing, right? Four of Wands, Three of Cups coming in. So again, it's this feeling of celebrating with friends, of coming together with mutual respect. This is what you truly wish. Venus and Aries energy is Four of Wands. So again, I think for some of you also, you may just be tired of this connection, or you may just be tired of the work that has to be put into this connection, and you just want a new one. Venus and Aries. Venus is beauty and love, and of course Aries is the new, the beginning, the great sort of conqueror, right? Emperor, Aries. You know, the conqueror, the one who conquers new territory. So again, I think for some of you, right, this month will indeed be a new connection coming in. Could be a connection through a friend group, right? Could very well be a connection, you know, at party. You may go to a party and meet somebody. Some of you may have this Tower moment because indeed you're engaging right now with someone here with this. You realize it's not what you need, but you meet somebody new in December. And that could very well be why you're moving forward with such sort of like fearlessness and enthusiasm, because the connection you had that you didn't want anymore, that was really starting to upset you perhaps and starting to not serve your purpose, not fill you with the joy that you were hoping it would, there's someone else who comes in, boom, just like that, and knocks you off your feet. Queen of Wands and Moon. Again, Queen of Wands answers the test. This is a perfect combination. The Moon is the test, and the Queen of Wands is the one who answers. She always shows up for the worst testing phases or the hardest testing phases because she's the strongest queen for transformation, self-transformation. If there's a queen who can learn something through the most difficult times, then it is the Queen of Wands. You can see that her panther, this used to be a black panther. It has, it has changed so much and transformed so much, but the spots are still there to remind him of where he came from or what he was. It's the same thing with the queen. You can see that she's radiating with the lessons that she's learned, the hard times that she's gone through, and how she's allowed those times to transform her into something stronger, better, resonating higher. Very strong indeed. And I think for a lot of you, the Queen of Wands comes into this because, yeah, you do everything you can here, right? You do what you can here, but you come out of it so strong and knowing yourself so well. And again, this new connection, I feel strongly, Aquarius, some of you are getting a new connection. Universe comes in over that Four of Swords. Well, the universe lets you know that everything is right. You are exactly where you need to be. Obstacles are automatically being cleared, not by you, but almost by divine intervention. The universe card is the same as the world card in the traditional deck. And here we just talk about knowing that you are absolutely at the right place at the right time, knowing what's meant to be and that this is meant to be, and that what you're doing now is meant to be. Right? It's a doubling down. And certainly the universe comes in when our lives begin to sort of reaffirm to us that where we're supposed to be, where things seem to just work out for us. Obstacles just suddenly seem to be cleared from our path, and our path seems to be very, very clear that we need to take. And again, this is coming in because you're being very sort of reserved and you're thinking a lot about the next steps. You're thinking a lot about yourself and how you're wanting to transform. I think, Aquarius, you're being very intentional this December about resonating yourself higher and resonating your love life higher. And for some of you, that is indeed going to mean a new connection. Now, I think this is another reason why the Tower is here, because this connection here, you may have for a long time thought that this was it. This is my soulmate. This is my twin flame. And now that you're coming into this month with this feeling of, if this is my soulmate, why is it not working out? But bam, you get hit with this new love here. And that's your Tower moment as well. For some of you, could very well be realizing that the one person you thought was your soulmate isn't at all your soulmate, because this new person who comes in almost obliterates this connection. Knight of Wands covered by Five of Swords. So moving forward with that ambition and that passion, and Five of Swords talks about throwing up your hands. I think for some of you, it's the card for defeat, but it's defeat to give somebody else that hollow victory that they so desperately want. It's defeat in the sense that, it's like, you can't do anything else. You can't, there's no way to win here unless you lower yourself or unless you change who you are. Excuse me. And you're not willing to change who you are. You're not willing to change so much about yourself to make this connection right that you don't recognize yourself anymore. And I think this is another reason why you come out of this month with this Knight of Wands energy, knowing exactly what you want and this Tower moment, because for some of you, you will have been in a connection with somebody for quite some time that you thought was this ultimate connection. And it's funny because the Tower comes in because this new connection, this Four of Wands, which is definitely a beginning in a new soulmate connection that comes out of socializing and being at parties and things like that during this holiday season, is so strong. It comes in so strong, and it comes in and brings with it everything that was everything that this connection was dysfunctional in. This connection brings in functionally. That it's another reason why you move on with so much strength and confidence. Again, Emperor talks about conquering new territory. So you very much come into this month with conquering new territory, opening up necessarily a new relationship. Very strong. I'm going to say for some of you, I'm going to call it, Aquarius. For some of you, this December, you come into this December unsure about a love connection that, you know, still trying to work on it, not sure, your feelings are all over the place, and some of you get hit, bam, with a new connection. It could be a love at first sight, and it's almost as if you completely forget this person and you move on with this new path. You have this Tower moment, the Tower moment being realizing that this was actually not the one, even though you thought it was this whole time. And this new love coming in very, very strongly, and could very much be sort of that connection that you always wanted, even though you felt that this was the one. And that can happen. All right, Aquarius. Whew. Heavy, heavy, heavy. It's going to be, this Tower moment will be something for you, but it will be more of a realization that you were on the wrong path and that you're about to be on the right path than anything. All right, guys? All right, I hope you resonated with this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you're going through something, you'd like to get a private reading, go ahead and go to that link at the top of your screen and you can schedule a private reading with me. I also do question and answer. So you can send me a question and I will record an answer for that question for you. And that's just a little short 15-minute answer. All right, guys, but for right now, Aquarius, have a wonderful, wonderful December. And don't forget to come back and check in with me for the mid-month love update. Bye-bye now.